The lift shafts, too, would have been severed by the planes, and tons of aviation fuel would have poured into them, starting fires throughout the building. Lift operator Kelly Badillo was in the North Tower when the first plane hit.
I think one of the elevators, the lower ones, I think the cables broke or something, because they just came flying down, boom. You could hear them. You could hear around the elevators, and then you could hear the wind, like a wind tunnel. But a lot of the elevators came crashing down. Doors flying right open, boom, hitting the other side of the wall and everything.
Standing in the lobby, Kelly witnessed the destruction of the very system that had made the buildings possible in the first place.
One of them came down, and it hit the floor, or it hit halfway or something, and the doors, one of them flew open, and then people started coming out that elevator, and their hair was on fire. You could see the smoke coming off their jackets and everything. And they just kept on running. Once they got out of the, everybody just kept on running.
It was about 8:50 a.m. We arrived here at the intersection of Church Street and Vesey Street. And it was totally different then because the World Trade Center complex was here. In the World Trade Center lobby, while our officer reported in at the fire command station. At this point, other units were pulling up, and many firemen were entering the building. Some were climbing through the broken windows, which I said that was very dangerous because half the window was still hanging, you know? A lot of piles of debris, and I remember I looked up to the ceiling because I thought maybe part of the ceiling had collapsed because there was a lot of debris there. But the ceiling was intact. It turned out it was a bunch of bodies, a bunch of burnt bodies. People just, I guess, got incinerated in the elevator, and when the elevator doors opened, they fell right there. I remember some of the elevator car, I seen the elevator car was twisted in the shaft. Some of the hoistway doors were missing. And we had to climb up over and around this pile. I think it was about the 36th floor when the building just violently shook. We got tossed around like toys. I remember donning my face pieces. I thought something was going to explode. And then it was just silent. Someone popped their head in from the 36th floor and said 2 World Trade Center just fell down. I don't know why I was thinking this, but I felt that it just fell like this. I thought it fell all the way across the island of Manhattan. I had no doubt that it fell completely, the way how violent the building was shaking. Shortly after that, there was an order, maybe about 30 seconds, there was an order called to evacuate the building.
My name is Greg Sherry, and yes, okay. I work on the 20th floor at the World Trade Center. I'm just traumatized right now. But World Trade 1, and I was working at my desk on the 20th floor, and all of a sudden, the impact, I thought it was a bomb, just lifted everybody off our seats, and we were screaming. But I was proud of my co-workers, everybody. It was calm. We took the stairways. There was a little panic, but we took the stairways. But then when we got to the bottom, the elevators, they all cracked. They were coming down. More debris was coming down. Yes. No, they popped. The cable popped. The elevator, it just tumbling down. So when we got to the exit, another plane came in and more debris. They wouldn't let us out the building. I thought that was it. But I just want to let you know, my wife, Barbara, I'm safe, and my mother. Okay. I'm just happy I got out, and hope my co-workers and everyone are safe. Okay.
Experience when they hit was like what?
That's it. My past came before me, but I thought maybe this was some type of earthquake. I ran to the window like I was some fool to see if it was an earthquake. I didn't see other buildings tumbling, so the first thing that came to my mind was that it was a bomb. So, no, I was still inside. When we got to the bottom, we were ready to leave the building. They told us not to get. That's when the other plane hit and everything was falling. They told us to stay inside the building, and it was just chaos. I saw bodies flying everywhere. It was something I never experienced.
Correct. All right. Now we are going to go to Mary Valdese, who was on the 104th floor of the first tower when, in fact, it was struck. Do you hear me, Mary?
Yes, I do.
Welcome to Fine. We're glad to have you. Mary, let's talk a little bit about what exactly happened when you realized that the building had been struck. My understanding, some of you in the upper floors were told to go to the roof. Is correct?
Well, I'll tell you truthfully, I got in early. I normally get in 7:45, and I missed my train, so I live upstate New York, and I took a later train, so I only got there at 9:15.
Now, how many people were in the elevator with you? You said you got pulled in.
Yeah, 10 people.
Okay. And how about the other people on your floor that didn't make it in the elevator?
They were going downstairs. To tell you the truth, I don't know. I only saw one of the people as I was walking uptown to try to get home. I only saw one person that I worked with. I don't know the status of any of the other people.
Mary, how long did it take for the elevator to take all the way down to the bottom floor before the building actually began to, give signs of collapsing?
Well, as I said, I was very lucky. It took out a total of 4 minutes to get down because the elevators were waiting there. Normally, if you have to wait, it takes longer. So it took. I'm sorry?
My next question for you, Mary, is it your sense that a lot of people managed to get out where you are?
Well, I'll tell you truthfully, I think most people did what you're supposed to do in a fire. I think they were all in the stairwell. And I'm thinking to God that they got out. But, I'm thinking that maybe they didn't.
When the debris started coming down, I was right in the shadow of the South Tower. I was less than 100 yards away. Everybody saw the video over and over again of that cloud chasing people down the street. It was like a tornado. It was like being hit by a wave at the beach. But the wave was intense. It was hot. It was noisy. It was like getting hit in the back by gravel. Blocks, like somebody had picked up handfuls of rocks and was just throwing them at you. And the noise kept coming and coming. And one second I was running, and the next second I was flying. I was just, I had no control over my feet, no choice as to what direction I was going. I was in the air, and it seemed like I was being followed by this tornado. This tornado of darkness.
After his escape from the South Tower, as Ron DiFrancesco ran away, he was hit by a fireball, apparently caused by the building collapsing. He was probably the last person out, alive.
I saw the fireball and heard a loud noise, and that's all I remember. And I woke up 6 days later at St. Vincent's.
I ran out of the building. Already out of the building, about 15 steps, and I felt the flame that's coming out from the building, because of the fuel of the airplane come down to the ground floor, and then they explode. So a piece of glass cut my tendon, and the frame, the blaze coming out like a big fireball, and they swept through my body from pole to.
These twin sisters, visiting from Alabama and Georgia, met in New York to share their 40th birthday. They were having coffee in the World Trade Center when the first plane struck.
And all of a sudden it sounded like, I don't know where the subway is, but it sounded like a subway collision, a bomb, and it was just pounding, boom, 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 and I literally thought the subway had exploded and all the cars were physically land on top of us. It was so loud.
And what'd you do? They lost everything, money, ID, clothes, but they've been overwhelmed by the kindness of New Yorkers.
Fell. British-born naval architect George Slay was on the 91st floor of the North Tower at 8:46 a.m.
I was on the phone, I heard a roar, looked out the window and saw this passenger jet coming towards the building. It was only about 2 or 3 plane lengths away from me at that point, and I didn't really have time to react. It was just, I saw it and then I was into the building.
George's office was just below the point at which nearly 200 tons of Boeing 767 had struck the tower.
Our offices are between the two arrowheads, and my office was particularly to the first 3 windows to the right of this arrowhead, in this area here. It doesn't get much closer than that. My office kind of collapsed around me. One of my colleagues came rushing along to see if I was okay and offered to drag me out. I politely refused. I said I was okay and crawled out myself.
No. We still don't know.
One man who gets an extraordinary view of the impact is Stanley Premnath. He has just returned to his office from the ground floor lobby.
Yeah, I guess.
So I'm standing up with the phone in my hand.
But we're fine.
My coffee and bagel that I bought when I was coming up still sits there on the desk. And I'm looking towards the Statue of Liberty, the direction of, with the phone in my hand. And that's when the plane caught my eyes. And this plane is bearing down on me. Eye level eye contact. I'm hypnotized standing up there. I'm not having time to react. All I'm looking at is this plane, and it's getting bigger, bigger, bigger. Lord, I can't do this, you take over. And I dove under my desk.
What's the other jet doing? Holy.
Oh my God!
Wow. That apparently does look like it is in the other building at this point.
That's terrible.
Alright, this is 16. I just know the caller hung up, but he said a news person just happened at 2 World Trade Center on the 80th floor.
Oh.
The plane hits the South Tower between the 77th and the 85th floors. Because the plane struck at an angle, one staircase to these